Brent Allen goes to the outside again on Harvey Gray, but this time at one of the toughest parts of the race circuit. That translates to an inside run up over the top of Ford Mountain. And through to the second position, 96 Greg Russell is your race leader. So I think this one for Brent Allen is more about pride. He'll realise that he's lost some championship points in that battle between himself and Matt Griffin. The advantage being that he can drop this round as his worst round overall. Here's Paul Clark going through in the 187. And we're on board with Clark making the run down the big back straight here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. So some fantastic racing throughout the weekend. A couple of controversial clashes across all of the classes. Brent Allen pulls out of the draft again. He's going to try and go the long way round. Giving each other racing room. I think Allen's got the line to the inside. Right-hander up over the top of Ford Mountain. He's working hard to keep the car straight. And the last lap board out, Brent Allen takes over the race lead. So at a third place finish for his first race of the weekend. He drops the wheels off the outside of the track down into turn number 1. Had a DNF, a costly DNF in race number 2. Greg Russell hasn't given up though. And Harvey Gray, after copping a little bit of damage to the right rear of the bumper in the opening laps, is now up into the third position with a battle between Bruce Miller, Paul Clark and Tony Houston to complete the top 6. So Brent Allen with the fastest lap of the race at a 1:15.27. It's 88 Fred Barden just running outside of the top 15, just ahead of him John Tyler. 63 of Grant McPhee and the 415 of Andrew Murray. As Russell gets back around, under brakes into the hairpin, Brent Allen. He's got the inside line though. Can Russell live there on the outside just as Brent Allen did to him the previous lap to get the race lead? Allen, I think, has got the line. No, Russell sneaks up the inside. This is going to be close down to the line. Brent Allen trying to get the slingshot off the outside. We've seen a couple of close ones this weekend. Brent Allen gets it just on the outside by 4/100ths of a second over Greg Russell, with Harvey Gray in third. And another big battle to complete the top 6 in behind. Well, what a race. Brent Allen taking out the race win from Greg Russell ahead of Harvey Gray, Bruce Miller, Paul Clark, Tony Houston, John Thompson, and the 110 of Terry Honey.
Brent, that was a must-win race and you came through just.
Yeah, it was. Had to win that one, and I thought it wasn't going to be too hard, but it was quite hard actually. Some of those boys still got good pace in their group, so hey, we first place in that race. It's the best we could have done. Obviously, still running 25th points from the last group, so it's not the best points we would have liked, but that's the way it finished. Yeah.
Greg, we've had close finishes today, and that you nearly upstaged your championship leader.
Yeah, I thought I had him actually, but just I don't know. He's just maybe I didn't hold him up high enough on the Ford Mountain because he just seemed to peel away from me. But I don't know if you noticed the car started to gain on him again. So if I needed another couple of metres, maybe it would have happened. But either way, it was great result.
So the last race on the program here at Pukekohe for the E30s. The top 25 in points from the weekend. We saw Brent Allen win the previous race. And that would put him 30th overall for the weekend based on points. So a costly weekend points-wise for the championship leader, Marty Irvine, with some work to do in this one, starting a long way back. Matt Griffin, though, the one to watch, looking to make the gain with Brent Allen. Richard Oxton, he's in that top Rookie of the Year battle with Kane Barry, as we're on board with Richard Batchelor, who's got one race win underneath his belt already this weekend. 47, Philip Smurthwaite just up ahead of them here, and he also is a race winner this weekend. So it looks like Tony Easton, another race winner this weekend in the 35, leading them off the hairpin, chased by Daniel Rollison. Matt Griffin into third. Matt Griffin right out towards the edge of the circuit there in the third position. It'll be Craig Schuster in the 50 in behind them in that bright yellow BMW E30. As Griffin attacks the curbs down through one. Rollison running that wider line. This is going to be all on for the final race. Kane Barry back there in about the 5th position in car number 100. He'll be keeping an eye on the progress of Richard Oxton in that Rookie of the Year battle. Matt Griffin looks to the outside of Rollison, looking for the 2nd position off the hairpin, and Griffin slots into 2nd. Winning his first race of the weekend, in 11th place in the 2nd handicap race of the weekend. Looking for win number 2 to really keep him in championship contention with the demise of Brent Allen this weekend. Battles through the field, 67 there. Here's Mark Crompton. And he's got Richard Oxton all over his back bumper. Oxton in the car formerly raced by Daniel Kent, that's been a championship frontrunner for the last couple of seasons. Marty Irvine's got the headlights on in Oxton's rear vision mirror, but it's still Tony Easton off the hairpin. Griffin, Rollison, Schuster, Kane Barry. 65 will be Gerald Farber. 707 Graham Ball. Richard Oxton and Richard Batchelor battling for position towards Ford Mountain. Graham Ball's done a good job this weekend. He's been one of the big improvers in the championship out of kart sport, of course. He and the likes of 21 John Lovitch, who's a little bit further back in this lineup at the moment. So many of the young drivers come out of kart sport as Ashley Blewett, Marty Irvine battle for position. Ashley Blewett, another young driver out of kart sport. There's Graham Ball going through. Long-time motorsport family, mainly in karting. Graham's dad and sister both competing in kart sport around the country. Matt Griffin now through to the lead, looking for win number 2 for the weekend. He's got the headlights on. Easton's got Rollison and Schuster beating on his back bumper up towards Ford Mountain. Schuster with the inside run on Rollison, looking for 3rd. So this is certainly going to help Matt Griffin. We talk about kart sport races, that's where Matt Griffin came from. The Auckland Hydraulic Services, number 999, as Schuster and Rollison go side by side down through turn number 1. Rollison pinches a brake, rides the curbs. That is fantastic driving. Rollison back into that 3rd position. This is real hold your breath stuff. Kane Barry by himself there in the 5th spot. Craig Schuster set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:14.4. It's the 56 of David O'Connor further back through the field on board with Richard Oxton. Trying to get a run here on Graham Ball. Pulls to the outside at the kink. I'm sure this is a sight that David Oxton, Richard's dad, has seen regularly, but probably more likely in an open cockpit car rather than with a roof over his head, although David did do a fair amount of tin-top racing later on in his career, notably alongside Peter Brock for many of those occasions as well. And young Richard Oxton looking to carry on the family dynasty here out of kart sport into the Castrol BMW Race Driver Series. As this 4-way battle continues up in front, Easton sideways down through into the S's. May compromise a little bit of exit speed. I'm sure Daniel Rollison will be aware of it. He gets a great run out of Castrol. In fact, it didn't really hurt Tony Easton at all. And Matt Griffin has not been able to get away here as Schuster now comes into the equation. He's got the inside run to the left-hander. Tony Easton trying to stay there to give him the inside run up the hill. Little dab on the brakes, but Schuster drives around him. Last lap run, there's the checkered flag. Matt Griffin 2 out of 3 for the weekend to keep him right in championship contention between himself and Brent Allen. Craig Schuster 2nd, Tony Easton 3rd. A This is Richard Oxton and Ashley Blewett for the 7th and 8th positions. It will be Blewett just on the line from Oxton. So it's Matt Griffin from Craig Schuster, Tony Easton, Daniel Rollison, Kane Barry, Gerald Farmer, Ashley Blewett and Richard Oxton.
Matt, that was one of those races you really had to win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I really needed the points, and fortunately I won that one, so I can't wait to see the results table.
I think you'd be pretty close to Brent now because he's had a disastrous day.
Yeah, unfortunately his sump got ripped off and he had a DNF, so I'm not sure where it's going to stand now, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Craig, that race had the crowd on their feet.
Mate, that was torrid. I'm still puffing. That was an awesome race. It was just so good to be out there and footing it with the guys. It's a great track and I love it. My car likes it here and goes really well. I think I started in 7th and got a couple off the start line, then managed to get up to 4th and just chipped away and finished in 2nd, past the last 2 guys on the last couple of corners. So yeah, it was a good race.
Well, it's still very, very tight in that championship. Brent Allen leads into the final round on 3.212 ahead of Matt Griffin on 3.116 with Marty Irvine consolidating third on 2.898.